Good afternoon, cocksuckers. How we doing? Right, so it's been a while since I've done the Aussie accent, so I figured I'd throw that in. Per usual, hope everyone is doing well, feeling good, fucking getting laid, whatever, this and that. Peace, love, and positivity, dude. I'm a little tired right now, so I'm gonna keep this relatively quick. Basically just a recap of today, as well as some other isms, utterances, and etc. This was a tweet that I put out earlier. You may have seen different flavors of this type of like nomenclature or I don't know, rhythm of description here. The tweet that I put out after today's close is: this is not a shitcoin, this is not a junk bond. This is the number one publicly tradable collective valuation of the top 500 publicly traded companies. Every basis point this moves represents the free world's economic heart monitor. To call this arrhythmia would be an understatement. And this is the picture that's linked now, albeit this was on my phone, and the length fuck, the length was stretched vertically because that's how fucking phones are. So the magnitude of the movements are a little exaggerated, but nonetheless, even just the cadences to the way that SPY moved today, the fact that it basically dropped 1% going into noon, bounced back up 1% going into 2 o'clock, and then bounced down 1% going into 3 o'clock, and then bounced again 1% going into close is just fucking incredible. This is some real shit going on. And I'm not, what I'm about to say is not meant to scare anybody. It's not meant to cause any fucking drama or concern, but please, for the love of God, like when this whole entire thing started, this AMC GameStop thing started, very different times. It's been well over a year, almost a year and a half now. The economic circumstances have changed. If you're, there's a saying of never invest more than you're willing or able to lose. Now, albeit that's easier said than done, especially, you know, if you have people who are hyping the shit out of something beyond proportions. I'm not here to talk about ceilings or floors, but please just fucking be careful. Even if you're not playing AMC or GameStop, please, for the love of fucking God, remember that the entire economic ecosystem is teetering, and every day it's becoming more and more shaky. So if you have money in that if everything went to shit tomorrow and anything you had bet on going up or down doesn't go the direction you wanted it to, please just be cognizant of that. It's a lesson that we all learn at some point, whether it's based on an economic collapse or you fucking break your dick and now you have to go pay a medical bill for it. Shit comes up, shit happens. Please just be careful. Playing a short squeeze during times like this is something to just be wary of. So, negative Nancy out of the way. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the action that went on. Let's see. I'm going to pull up one more indicator. This is Short Shucker. Is the name of the script. Basically, this is just a Wyckoffian approach to converting on-balance volume and volume velocity into moving averages, essentially. The blue line is a simple moving average. The yellow is an exponential. Basically, if the yellow crosses over the blue or vice versa, it typically means something's going to happen. So this does include after hours. We have AMC on the left, Jumbo on the right. I'm going to go to the one day, so that should capture all of today. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. Basically, the three red lines you see are speed lines. These are different magnitudes of price action, essentially. Anytime that you see one of these lines interact, it means that price action from one period is interacting with something from a greater or lesser period of time. Just think waves. Think waves in an ocean. If you have a giant tsunami coming in from the opposite side of the world, and you have, I don't know, a lesser magnitude earthquake go off locally, when those two intersect, typically there is going to be constructive interference that takes place, and in layman's terms, I guess, that means look out for price action in whatever direction. These are also to be treated as moving averages as well. Where the fuck did my shit go? TradingView is done shitting itself. Okay, so yeah, so these lines are also moving averages. If you see price cross over or cross under, it's typically indicative of something significant happening. You have a change in trend. So this is on the 1 minute. Basically today was accompanied by the SPY, the major index of capitalism as we know it, shit itself at open. And because AMC and GameStop are very much heavily involved inside of other presiding indices within the market, ETFs, there's an arbitrage opportunity by market makers as well as different funds who have the capacity to basically short sell and redeem back into an ETF basket. So that's why you see a lot of influence brought on by SPY, is because SPY is kind of the overarching theme of liquidity, and then below that you have your indices, and then below that you have your single stocks, and so there's an opportunity there. That's why you see things move the way they do. And then eventually we started to separate from SPY and other indices like IWM for AMC and XRT and IJR for Jimbo. So it was pretty much just following the market most of the day. Going into... Fucking idiot. Okay, so around noon, for both of these, we started to see a little bit of separation of influence from things like SPY and IWM and IJR. This was a great sign to see, because you see that separation of correlation. That means that there's something beyond just typical market antics at play that are pushing these two stocks around. You could see it as like intermittent covering. You could see it as a market maker or a fund loading up inside of the option chain. It shows that this isn't just moving with the tide. So that's a great sign. It's also a sign of strength and independence, because these two stocks are strong, independent, fucking portfolio sucking. Yeah. Okay. So now in terms of what we saw that was notable was we had we broke through this speed line on the 1 minute. I'm going to change the color of this. Yeah, so we broke through this speed line, and you can see that we held over it really, really well, but they actually brought it down for more accumulation. And if we go to like the 15-second chart, that would illustrate it even better. And I'll switch to Heiken Ashi so you can see the trend. So just more accumulation. They held it down. Most of your volume took place at the lower ranges. Shout out to David Marino, by the way, the number one shill of the community. He gave me a nugget of wisdom, where basically if you're trying to see if you have like a very ambiguous scenario of this, is this accumulation or distribution, just see where the ranges are held. Anytime you see like this getting pushed up, like you might be inclined to call this distribution, but when you realize that you actually have a lot of volume being traded at the lower levels of these little trends, that's a good sign that you're in accumulation. So that being said, we know that that's accumulation. We touched back onto the speed line, fell below it. That was our accumulation. And then going into close, we actually rebounded into it. And I think that SPY was pumped super hard around this time, so it might have been that. But ironically, when this got pushed through, it actually just bombarded all three speed lines, which is big. Same thing with GameStop. We saw a lot of momentum, except GameStop on the 1 minute at least was riding in the accumulation territory. It never really got to see the light of day. Someone was definitely trying to buy up at a low price. You always have these days where GameStop might show more strength than AMC, and then the day after that, AMC will lead the pack, and vice versa. Today was just an AMC day in terms of strength. And the other really interesting scenario we have being set up is that these speed lines are all about to clash together, which results in volatility. And right now, anyone who is short on this does not have time for volatility. That will not be in their favor. If we go to AMC currently on the 5 minute, this includes after hours, we have speed lines at the accumulation zones intersecting and pointing up. And we have, again, fucking Uncle Jim, bam, one of his classic setups, which is the triple cluster in speed lines. Whenever you have all of these ranges, these particular lines grouping up like this, it makes it easier for something to push through because all of these ranges are at a singular level or are very clustered up. So instead of having to break through, if for instance, we had 3 speed lines that were this far apart, you might break through one, get rejected, and then push back up through, and then get rejected again. Whereas when you have them all clustered up, this just turns into one fell swoop of a move where you just take off. So when you see all these lines overlap like this, that basically adds tons of more velocity. Again, another BAM term to the direction of things. I'm actually going to turn off extended trading hours for this as we look at the macro view, because if you look at what happened most recently, the 100% move we saw, as well as all of like the major squeeze episodes that we had in June and January, you're going to see this common theme of we have this triple cluster setup. I think this was on the 2 hour. Maybe it was even the 4. Yeah. So you can see like even on AMC right here, we had a 2/3 cluster going on back in January, and the ranges were held so well that it actually pulled all these together. And you can see that right as it gave a little lub tap to that top band, that's when it just shot up, and you had the triple cluster form. And then as these speed lines started to separate and kind of get lost from one another, that's when you saw the ranges start to vary. And now here we are. This looks fucking great. This looks really fucking good. We've got the triple setup as a support, which basically acts as like a bungee cord going up, is how that translates. I hope you guys can see this okay. I know the background is not quite conducive for seeing colors. No? Fuck, I don't know. Tell me in the comments what you prefer. So this looks great, and we're actually getting compression now into the upward direction on the 4 hour, and I want to see what the daily looks like real quick too. Yeah, that doesn't quite have enough data yet, but you can even see like back in from January to late May how these were the supports and resistances. And for anyone that's been following the development of this particular indicator, you'll know that these are not conventionally generated lines. This is kind of a secret sauce that I've developed on my own. So for these to be appearing the way they are is huge. This is a new way to perceive what's going on in the market. As far as GameStop goes on the macro scale as well, you can see that there was a triple cluster on the daily. Again, it's just fucking like you can see exactly how you have this stacking of magnitude take place, especially on a daily, like how it was. And here we are. We're starting to get another cluster to form. We got a double right here, and over time this will actually catch up to become a triple. That's an inevitability. On the 2 hour, yeah. Oh, this looks really good. You can see that it's actually using the upper distribution speed lines as a form of support. And the last time it broke through, that was just at the accumulation level. We got the breakout. I'm going to go back to regular candles now. We got the breakout when we jumped from 130 all the way up to 200. Those breakouts took place at these lines. I'm going to zoom out so you can see it. So we broke through here, jumped, broke through here, and jumped, and that should have been the attack at 215. But, fuckery. So here we are, though. We're seeing it as a form of support, and I think that we're going to be breaking through this later in the week. The 30-minute, yeah, we have a triple cluster on the 30-minute. That's great. That's fucking great. That's really good. What about the 15? It's a double, but the straggler is actually at a lower level, so that kind of acts as a triple. I guess call it like a 2.5. These are about to go tits to tits, and then this is a lower level to break through. So it kind of will still produce that triple cluster effect. And then on the 5-minute, yeah, here we are. Yeah, so if we, I tweeted earlier about 150 being a key level, and this is why. This is one of the myriad of reasons. Yeah, this looks good. This looks really good. This looks really, really good. I'm going to check AMI real quick. Yeah, ooh, yeah. Yeah, it looks good. I like that. Yeah, 4 hour starting to tighten up, and the daily also tightening up, but those are at the 40s. So we're going to check SPY real quick as well. SPY actually has a triple cluster set up. It kind of always does, just because SPY is always in fucking distribution, but nonetheless, SPY looks relatively strong. Today just sucked. Yeah, this was a fucking nightmare of a day. I really don't like the volatility. If you're playing any individual stock, you want your indices to be as stable as they can be, so that way your individual stock performs independently rather than being influenced by some major economic or world event. If SPY does not hold on to this 435 region, it's not going to be good. That gives us a clear walk down to 423. Yeah, 450 is kind of like, if SPY can retrace to 450 this week, which is a lot to ask for even in like a good circumstance. I kind of see us touching maybe. Here's fucking David Marino's classic pattern, the descending wedge. I mean, at this rate, that's even being courteous. That's a long fucking way down. It's just going to ping pong between. Yeah, no, I don't like that. Very good chance that we see 420 again. Yeah, that's shitty. That's fucking shitty. We really got to see SPY get back to the 450 range. Otherwise, this will not be good. And not just on the 1 hour. Yeah, on the and just for context, I'm gonna zoom out and kind of show you where we've had similar instances like this happen, where we're caught at the first accumulation layer, with a lot of distance between that and the distribution speed line. It does not look good. There's never really been a time that we have an instance right here. Yeah, so like the last time we saw something like this was here, where we were rejected off of the distribution lines. This is all the way back at the beginning of the year. We started to recover, but then just gapped down immediately and got plunged all the way to 420. And that has a very similar setup to what's going on now, just more or less distance between the speed lines. This is not looking good. Same thing here. This is actually more comparable. Same situation. It did not bear well. Yeah, so it's looking shitty, boys. Not gonna lie. And then on the daily, the closest thing that I can see of similarity is here, which was the taper tantrum of 2018. But even then, you still had a lot more locality between each of the accumulation and distribution speed lines. Anytime we've ever, because basically what I'm looking for is to see the drop from the distribution layers, and then I check to see how close the nearest accumulation layer is, and yeah, this does not look. I mean, this is like COVID. Yeah, no. I mean, even back here going into 2015, this does not look good. This looks a lot like this. This looks a lot like that. Yeah. But even, god damn it, the ascending Like just the rate of this thing going up is absurd. Yeah, I mean it's way So I just pulled up a regression trend. So it's just two channels of your blue being a bullish channel, your red being a bearish, and you'll see it oscillate between these two, but it's fallen way outside of it, and this goes all the way back to COVID. If we go to like April of last year, yeah, this does not look good. This does not look good. So just be careful. Be fucking careful. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you all so much. Fucking love you guys. I'm going to try to do these daily. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how I'm feeling. But love and appreciate all you. Stay black.